Thank you for joining me in Hoda's Career Info, the program where career professionals from across the globe meet to empower you to succeed. This program is brought to you by Right Career Fit. Feeling stuck or uncertain in your career path? Have that very important conversation with a career professional. Book your appointment with any of the career professionals interviewed on this program or with me, Hoda, at rightcareerfit.com.
The whole of career management revolves around selling yourself. And the reason why I'm in business is that people cannot sell themselves. Co-opetition, we should all be together as one society, one world, and we're seeing that sadly on the world stage right now, that we're not together. Networking, as you know, is an integral part of life and career success. I tell my clients that every one of them is a product, and you are sending that product to the market. Now, the package for that product is your LinkedIn profile, which should be fully complete, not half complete or a third complete, and then your resume, your CV. Branding is very, very important. Your unique promise of value. What is so special about your product?
Thank you again for joining me in Season 2 of Hoda's Career Info, your career program where career professionals from across the globe share career tips and personal stories to help you successfully navigate your career. I am Hoda, your host. I look forward to another season of career chats with international career professionals who will inspire you to take your journey to the next level. Ready to meet this week's guest? My guest today is Martin Buckland. Writing outstanding performance-driven resumes, developing job search strategies, personal branding, career and executive coaching, outplacement, interview tutoring, and creating a powerful online and in-person image have gained Martin Buckland a reputation as a leading global authority in executive career management. Martin specializes in managing and advancing the careers of senior business leaders to the C-suite and board directors level, as well as those who aspire to be business leaders, EMBA graduates and candidates, and he works extensively in the mining sector. Martin has worked with clients in over 70 countries. A sought-after speaker, Martin enjoys presenting, delivering what he lightheartedly calls the career management gospel, according to Martin. Sharing job search strategies blended with interview, personal branding, and executive coaching have become an integral part of his business, frequently presenting to numerous organizations, associations, networking groups, public and private entities as an authority in career management across the globe. Martin is an associate coach for 23 EMBA programs at various business schools. Let's listen and together learn from Martin's experience. Thank you, Martin Buckland, for agreeing to do this today. I'm very honored that you agreed to be on my show.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
I always start the program by giving my guests a challenge to kind of get you going.
Yeah, oh no.
And the challenge is choose one term that reflects how you view your work and the services you offer. And for example, mine is career literacy because I see value in educating my clients so that they can plan their career right away, not when they need a job. So what would be your word and how would you define it? Not the Webster definition, but your definition of it.
Well, sales, the whole of career management revolves around selling yourself. And the reason why I'm in business is that people cannot sell themselves. Even sales guys sales professionals who are really good at their job and they can make gazillions of dollars cannot sell themselves. So sales is the word that I would say.
Thank you. And that is very unique. I haven't had a career coach say that yet, but we will be elaborating on that and challenge you to define it even more. But before I move on to that, I've heard your personal story before, and I would appreciate it if you would share it with the audience and perhaps embedded with it the message that you would send to the audience by being here on this show.
Sure. So by trade, I left high school and I went into the Metropolitan Police. So I was a London bobby and I served in London for many, many years. And then I was a detective at Scotland Yard when the IRA were blowing up London in the, I'm now going to give my age away, the 70s and 80s. And so I've got an extensive background in policing, particularly anti-terrorism. And of course, I was on the beat and I've got some very, very interesting stories. A lot happens in London. It's a huge metropolis. It's a massive police force. So, and being at Scotland Yard is like a kind of mystique, but actually it's not a mystique. It's just a regular, another place where detectives and regular police officers get posted. But it was very, it is a great place to learn to become a detective because they've got often the, well, probably the best in the world there. So yeah, now I can bring that into my own career now because I've got interview skills that I gained when I was a police officer, extensive interview skills. So I tell my clients, just as a joke, if you want interview tutoring, interview coaching, I won't put you in handcuffs, but I know how to make you feel good in your seat, and I know how to draw that stuff out. Because, as I just said a minute ago, people don't sell themselves. So without the handcuffs or with the handcuffs, that's an extra fee.
So thank you for sharing your message and how you actually, your story and how you apply it at work as well. Martin, the first time we met was at a Thrive conference in Florida, and you presented there and introduced me to the word co-opetition, a business term that I didn't know back then, but that now I have embraced, and it has led me to succeed in growing my practice. Do you mind sharing your take on it and perhaps explaining it for the sake of everyone who is not familiar with it?
Yeah, that's very good. So it's a term that I heard from somewhere many, many years ago, and I've adopted it, and now you've adopted it. Really, there are plenty of fish in the sea in any business, any trade, any professional association, or any profession. There isn't competition. There you are co-opetition. So you are a part of getting in that race to the finish. Obviously, there is only in job search, there is only a trophy for number one, but co-opetition, we should all be together as one society, one world, and we're seeing that sadly on the world stage right now, that we're not together and we're not on the same cog or on the same wheel. We're all over the place. So, you know, if we had embraced co-opetition, it doesn't matter what race, what color, what ethnic background, what religion, or whatever you are, we should all be embracing co-opetition, not competition.
Thank you. This is a great message as well. And then I always Google my guests. And of course, you know, I follow you anyway, but a recent blog titled Personal Branding for Introverts is for introverts too. And it caught my attention because I consider myself an introvert. It was a good read. And but one thing that I was like, as an introvert, can we really be doing this? You mentioned that career management is about selling. Many career professionals would agree, but an equal number of career professionals would say, would not agree with the statement. What do you say to those who do not agree with the statement, career management is about selling?
Yeah, I mean, I could keep you busy till breakfast tomorrow morning on that one. But yeah, as I said in my introduction, the whole world of career management revolves around sales. Now, introverts do have difficulty in selling themselves. And I've written extensively on, I'm I'm an extrovert. I'm way off the other side. But I can put myself in the introvert seat. That's another one of my police attributes, I think, because we can sit in many seats. Yeah, it is tough for them, and they should partner with extroverts. If they go networking, now I'm a fierce networker. There's no holds barred in my networking across the world, and I'm known for that. An introvert cannot network. So I like to take, when I go networking, in-person networking, and thank goodness it's starting to come back. I like to nurture and coach an introvert and take them around with me and introduce them, because that's the big step, the introduction, the relationship building. And when the networking, as you know, is an integral part of life and career success.
And definitely it is important. I remember I saw you at the Paris conference, the party. You were like, everybody knew who you were, and everybody was, you were talking to everybody too, like willing to talk to everyone as well. So I can attest to your extrovertness.
Well, thank you. Yeah, sharing as well. If you are a niche, if you are an expert, why keep it within your own environment? As I said a few minutes ago, there's plenty of fish out there. I'm not frightened of sharing my knowledge. I'm not going to, it's co-opetition again. So I'm not going to be worried if somebody copies what I do. Because I've educated them, and I like to gain knowledge from other people, my peers like you and many others I know in the career management sector.
So Martin Buckland is all about branding. What advice would you give to job seekers looking to build their personal brand? And I know there's lots, but what can you give them some tips?
Yeah, so I like to break it down into being realistic. I'm a realistic coach. So I tell my clients that every one of them is a product, and you are sending that product to the market. Now, the package for that product is your LinkedIn profile, which should be fully complete, not half complete or a third complete, and then your resume, your CV. So those are your sales tools. Those are the packages around the product of which you are, and you're sending that product to the market. So when you go to the supermarket, the grocery store, and you see that Kellogg's are eye level, well, Kellogg's pay the supermarket chain, the grocery store, a lot of money. It's called category management, to be at eye level. And they have glossy red and blue and pink and all sorts of nice colors. So you need to be at eye level. So I tell my clients, you want to be at the Kellogg level where people can see you, and the packaging is your resume and your LinkedIn profile. So that's all part of your branding. Branding is very important. Your unique promise of value. What is so special about your product versus Mary, Mark, or Paul, who's got a very similar product, but maybe just slightly different shade of gray or shade of blue or whatever?
You're talking about colors, and I love your green background.
Thank you.
You have a live show on LinkedIn, and you told me how important to keep the brand. So what is your show about? What would you like to tell us about the brand from that as well?
So coming back to sharing my knowledge, I like to share my knowledge in a weekly show called Tuesdays at 2. So Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I have a different topic each week, and I encourage comments. I encourage people to ask questions, not just particularly on that topic, but any topic relating to career management. And last week I had people from 10 different countries come on. So yeah, I mean, I'm a global guy. There's no holds barred on my boundaries, country boundaries. And I have every Saturday, or the last Saturday of the month, I have a new live show called Career Coaches Rant. And that's when I get really ramped up. The hair on the back of my neck stands up, and I've got a different studio upstairs, and it's all red, and I get really excited. And then next week I start a new live stream called Career Tips for a Crazy World. So that's just a 1 minute, very quick tip twice a week. So live streaming is very, very important for my brand, just as this studio here, and I have different studios for different locations and different. When I teach at business schools, I have another one over the other side of the room. But I love coming on and sharing my knowledge. Why not? If you got it, share it. That's my motto.
I absolutely agree. And you've got so much experience. And my next question was going to be about new and things that you're going to be doing now and in the coming years. So I am looking forward to the rant one because I know you'll come up with lots of good ideas. Do you have anything else you want to talk about projects, services that you're working on?
Sure. Yeah, so that rant, I got 20 because people constantly, every day I see it, and it really gets me wound up, make the same mistake. So I've got 20. So I've got it's only once a month. I've got 20 for the next month. So, and then I'm actually starting 2 podcasts bi-weekly. So one is with an executive recruiter. He actually carries the same last name as me. He's an expert in mining, just as I'm a career management expert in mining. We should all niche ourselves. So I'm an expert in the EMBA, so Executive Master of Business Administration. That's why I travel all over the world teaching at business schools. And I'm also a niche an expert in mining. So we're starting in a few weeks' time a podcast called Buckland and Buckland, and then bi-weekly. Oh no, that's going to be every 8 weeks. And then I'm starting a new one called the EMBA Journey. So I'm going to be interviewing admissions directors at various business schools and some of my clients, because I've worked with over 2,500 EMBA graduates or candidates. So those are 2 coming in the pipeline. There is another one which I will be talking about probably as we get closer to the year. But as you know, these live streamings take a lot of research. You just can't just pop on just like that. You have to do your research, and that's all part of your brand, because you have to show that you are a true professional.
Well, thank you so much for continuing to share your knowledge and to work on this. I'm sure we all need to hear those tips that you've got to share, years of experience. And these were all the questions I've had for you, Martin. I really appreciate you being here. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up the episode?
Yeah, so I as you can tell, I'm very effervescent. I'm very bubbly. I'm very active. I love my job. So I tell my clients, I actually have the best job in the world, but they can have the second best. So there we go.
I know you enjoy it, and I can feel your excitement and passion for the podcasts you're preparing. So I'm looking forward to them for sure.
Well, thank you very much, Hoda. It's a pleasure.
You've been listening to Hoda's Career Info, the program where career professionals from across the globe join me to empower you to succeed. Thank you for joining me and Martin Buckland today in this episode of Hoda's Career Info 2022. I hope the career tips shared by Martin inspire you to network, to package your brand, and to share your knowledge. You can connect with Martin Buckland on LinkedIn. Please remember that you can listen to Hoda's Career Info since it's also dropped as a podcast. To let me know if you are interested in an opportunity to talk about your work, you can send me a direct message on my website, rightcareerfit.com, where you can also sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date on the latest episodes. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and follow me on social media for more career info. I am your host, Hoda. Until next time, stay inspired and keep moving in productive ways.